Welcome to the Grateful Living podcast. I'm your host, Talisha Meyer. I'm a published author, writer, holistic massage practitioner, empath, intuitive, and light worker. Join us for this week's episode.
Hi, beautiful souls. So the other day I was scrolling through my phone, clearing out old photos, and I came across something that stopped me for a moment. It was an old picture from one of the sales offices I visited. It wasn't just a quote or a reminder. It was literally the system we lived by, the 8 steps. Back then, I didn't realise how much that system would end up shaping not just my career, but the way I showed up in business, in healing, and honestly in life. For anyone that doesn't know, I started my holistic business in 2022. However, in 2023, I felt like I needed to step out of my kind of toxic, unstable environment and go out there into the world, be around people, be around a positive, healthy environment, and really work on myself, my skill set, and my ability to show up for the women that I wanted to serve. So I decided to do the most craziest thing that I could think of. I wanted to get over my fear of rejection, and I thought, what better way to do that than to go and work in direct sales. I ended up working there for almost 2.5 years. I first started out just doing 3 days a week as a way to build my confidence, my people skills, and my business acumen. It was just about learning the ropes at first, but before long, I was managing my own team and I ended up coaching over 25 people. Every single day we were out there building relationships, handling rejection, hitting goals, motivating each other, and constantly learning how to pick ourselves up after the no's. It was intense to say the least. It was fast-paced, competitive, and very high energy. But it was also where I learned some of my most valuable lessons, not just about sales, but about people, mindset, and resilience. When you work in that kind of environment, you quickly realize that success doesn't come from luck. It comes from consistency, emotional regulation, and the way you manage your attitude every single day. Coaching my team taught me that leadership isn't about telling people what to do. It's about helping them believe they can do it. I used to hold one-on-ones, run morning meetings, and help people reconnect to their why. And now when I look at how I coach women through healing or business blocks, it's so full circle because it's the same foundation. The language is different, but the energy is the same. It's about helping people remember their power. So what exactly are the 8 steps? The 8 steps are the steps to success in life and in business. And although they're a sales system, I think they hold so much truth, not just in business, but in how we live our lives. These 8 rules to live by starts with 1. Be positive. This doesn't mean that life's just sunshine and roses. And it doesn't mean being toxic positive or pretending that everything is fine. It's about finding the silver lining, finding the positive, the lesson, even when things aren't working out as you want them to. It's about choosing to see the possibility even when things are hard. In sales, it might be that you get 79 rejections before you get 1 yes. And you still have to show up with that same energy. In life, that's resilience. Step 2 is about being reliable. Reliability builds trust with your clients, your team, and most importantly, yourself. If you say you're going to do something, do it. That's self-trust in action. Step 3 is be prepared. Don't wing it, in sales or in life. Preparation creates confidence. Whether it's a client call, a massage session, or a workshop, I always go in grounded because preparation is how you respect your craft. Number 4, give 100% effort. Give your best even when no one's watching. You can't half commit and expect full results. Your energy is your signature. People feel it. Plus, you're working on commission, whether that's door to door or your own business. Your results are determined by the amount of effort that you put in. Step 5 was about working your territory correctly. In sales, that means literally knowing your patch, knowing how to work a map, where you're going, who you're speaking to, the demographic you need to kind of target, and how to build momentum. In business now, it's about knowing your audience, understanding who you're here to serve, and showing up where they are. Number 6 is safeguard your attitude. This one was huge for me. Protect your mindset, your energy, and your emotional state. Because when you're surrounded by so many personalities, energy can spread fast. I had a sure, fast way of doing that. I actually have a mentality toolkit I created when I was on the field. It all starts with how you start your day for me, because sales and what I do now is a people's business. You're constantly giving your energy away. So you need to make sure your cup is filled before you give to others. On the field, this looked like playing a game of happy things and actively searching for tiny little joys throughout the day, or taking intentional resets with music that uplifted me. And of course, my signature, the gratitude circle. This is when we do a huddle at the start of the day and go round and share 3 things that we're grateful for to set the tone. Because I truly believed that we have to start our day with gratitude. When you look for things to be positive about and look for blessings in life, you'll find more of those things. So those are just some of the ways I ended up safeguarding my attitude. It literally taught me how to ground, regulate, and reset, which, funnily enough, became the foundation of my nervous system work. Number 7, have a goal and why. Without a why, you burn out fast. Your why pulls you through the days when motivation isn't enough. And believe me, when you're knocking on doors at 8 o'clock at night, on a 0, in the pouring rain, you're definitely going to need a strong enough why. My why back then was about building confidence, independence, and becoming a better version of myself. My why now is about helping women feel safe, worthy, and powerful in their bodies and in their lives. Number 8, take control. This is probably one of my favorite ones because life will always test you, but you can control how you respond. In sales, I couldn't control who said yes or no, but I could control my effort, my mindset, my work ethic, and my energy. That's still true now. Healing, success, and peace all starts with taking radical responsibility for your own energy. When I look back at that time in my life, I have so much gratitude for it, what it taught me, because I realized how much those principles have shaped everything that I do today. What looked like high-pressure sales environment was really emotional training. It taught me resilience, consistency, communication, leadership, and self-awareness. It also taught me how to separate emotion from action, to follow the plan, not my feelings. And when I work with women now, whether that's through EFT, all the other things and modalities I do, I see those same lessons come through. Healing is just a different form of discipline. It's showing up for yourself when it's hard, when you don't feel like it, and when no one's clapping yet. The 8 steps were never really about sales, they were about self-leadership. So maybe take this as your reminder today. Success isn't complicated. It's built from simple principles repeated with intention. Which of those 8 steps do you need to reconnect with right now? Is it staying positive, being reliable, protecting your attitude, or taking control? Because no matter where you are, whether you're healing, building a business, or starting fresh, these principles still apply. They're not just steps to success, they're steps to self-mastery. I know this episode was a little different from our usual tone, and in the next episode, I'll be sharing a more personal story about how life tested those principles earlier this year and how to follow the plan, not my feelings, which really helped me going through one of the hardest seasons of my life. So until next time, take good care.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at _the_grateful_living